Okay, Legend of Korra Book 4, Episode 9. Wow, so much happened in this. Immediately we start off with the fact that the spirit vines are now out of control and attacking people and even taking them. As to what they were doing with them the entire time, I have no idea. It seemed to trap their spirits in the spirit realm, but I didn't know if they were sapping their energy or if they were just holding them prisoner. That's not made clear, and hopefully it does in the future. But either way, the spirit vines out of control. Korra finds out it's because Kuvera is cutting up the swamp tree. So it really shows that the swamp really is connected to all the world. I mean, any spirit vines out there, the swamp is connected to it. So that's awesome. But as soon as she goes into the world leaders meeting to warn them about this, we find out a bit that Wu was invited despite, having very little experience in political matters. So it really does bring up the question as to why Korra was not invited. But it brings up the fear that maybe everyone's lost faith in her. She's no longer as strong as she used to be. She's no longer an unstoppable force to depend on. And I think the only person who really believes that is Korra. Because while it is true that Korra is meant to keep the balance, she has no political experience either. So maybe that's why. And the only reason Wu was invited was because he's technically politically inclined. He's technically still a world leader, I suppose. But it's still kind of questionable. I mean, look at the guy. I mean, some of the plans he came up with are just so dumb. So, I don't know. It's politics. I don't want to get into it. Hopefully this show doesn't get into it because it'd just be kind of just jumbled. But either way, it's nice to see that. And I like how, the world leaders, other than Raiko, are saying, no, we can't just send an army in to attack Kuvera. That would seem we're antagonizers. We're just coming in here to take down their leader with no probable cause, and also just to put a puppet king on the throne. That would be really bad. So I like the difference between Raiko in Season 2 and this Raiko. In Season 2, Raiko was very more level-headed. He wasn't about to start a war with the North Pole and South Pole just to appease the Avatar. He was more level-headed. He was about to say, no, we can't start a war. It just would look bad on Republic City and would just cause unnecessary deaths. I assume there's going to be deaths in a war, even in Avatar series. But in this one, he's just immediately ready to do that. Now, I don't know if it's because Beifong convinced him to, or he's changed over the last 3 years. But either way, there it is. So it's very interesting to see that. And I like how immediately Varric and Bolin comes in and to warn them about the super weapon. And so I like their plan of putting Varric and Asami together to get them to work on a counterattack against this super weapon. Now, how they would do that without, actually getting spirit vines to test them to see if there's a way to counteract their energy, I don't know. Maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe they'll just have to acquire even more spirit vines, and that's gonna cause spirits to go all wonky too. So I don't know. Either way, Korra tries to save Janora, who's just been kidnapped by the vines, but she can't get into the spirit world where their spirits are. And of course, it's back to the mental block that she has in her head. So she believes the only way to get rid of that mental block is to confront Zaheer again and actually convince herself that she's no longer afraid. And she does. And this prison that they're holding Zaheer in is pretty high security. So, okay. I mean, I know he's an airbender, but would airbending actually be able to take down a metal door? I guess after some time it would, but who knows? I mean, maybe they're just paranoid and Zaheer's, he's just this so big bad that they can't take any chances. So that's good, that's good for them. And I have to say, Zaheer with hair, like long hair, I know we've seen him before with hair like that previously, but it's still so weird. I'm so used to him being bald. But, his hair is back, he's kind of grayish. So I'm wondering how old he is. He may be in his 40s or even 50s. Maybe older, I don't know. But either way, now he has the beard and the hair. And I like how immediately, as soon as Korra says, "I'm no longer afraid of you," he just charges at her, and she's like, "Oh no!" Yeah, I mean, that was funny. I mean, I think it wasn't supposed to be, but it was funny for me. But anyway, I like how Zaheer says, you're not supposed to overcome the fear. You're just supposed to accept that you have it. And I do like that ideology, because fear is very important to helping us grow and actually become stronger. So I don't like how Korra the entire time was just saying, I'm not afraid, I just have to get rid of this, forget about it. It's like, no, you just have to accept it and build upon that fear. You just have to be able to realize that this happened to you. You almost died, but you didn't. Instead, you survived, you got stronger, and that's just fine. So I feel like how with Zaheer's help, she was able to finally get into the spirit world. So it really does show that Zaheer is not that bad of a guy. He just took his ideology too far. And it makes me wonder about some of the other villains. Maybe Amon at some point might have been saved, but he just went too far with ideology and no one stopped him. But either way, now that Korra's in the spirit world, she talks to Rava. Rava's back. I mean, I don't think I've heard from Rava since season 2. That's a pretty long time. But I'm glad she's back, and she helps Korra find Janora and all the other people and freeze their spirit. And I don't think it's ever been told to us that Korra is supposed to be weak in the spirit world. I'm pretty sure she should have already known she's strongest in the spirit world after season 2, turning into that giant spirit being. She should have assumed the spirit world is where she's most powerful, but I don't know. Either way, she saved Janora. They're all good and happy, and it ends with Opal and Beifong getting ready to go over to Zaifu and save her family. And I didn't bring this up before because honestly, the little storyline between Bolin and Opal's anger, supposedly, is not the best part of the episode for me. I can understand why she's angry. I can understand why she's scared for her family. I mean, I sympathize. Her family's probably in danger. She wants to save them. She wants to rescue them. All that. And of course, she's mad at Bolin for, working on the Kuvera at a certain point. But yeah, she's acting very horribly towards Bolin. I mean, he literally was putting his life at risk to escape Kuvera and come back and warn everyone about the super weapon and even apologize to Opal, and she's still sort of blaming him, and it just kind of seems harsh. I mean, do you honestly expect Bolin to have had any knowledge about what Kuvera was doing? He's kind of, he's not always the brightest. He's the most naive person you've ever met. You have to assume he didn't know what was going on. He was being used. So I don't know why she's so mad at him. It just seems kind of unfair and really puts Opal in a bad light for me. But anyway, as soon as everyone was saying, the world leaders were saying that they're not going to attack Kuvera without any probable cause, and then immediately after, Opal and Beifong were saying, we got to handle this ourselves. We're going to, attack Kuvera or rescue our family ourselves. I immediately thought, they're the ones that are going to convince Kuvera that she needs to attack Republic City, or at least the air nomads, because she was, her nation was just attacked by outer forces. So I'm thinking if that does happen, then a war between Kuvera and the other nations was caused by Opal and Beifong. So it'd be kind of similar to in season 2 how Korra was ready to convince a military, or at least the navy anyway, of Republic City to attack the North and the South Pole to rescue her dad, her family. And that didn't happen. But here, it's Opal and Beifong ready to attack the Earth Empire to save their family. So, and they're going to succeed because they're not going to wait for backup or any military. They're going to go by themselves. So I don't really know how well that's going to work out, or if Bolin's actually if he's actually going to agree with this. Maybe he's so desperate to earn Opal's apology, earn Opal's forgiveness, and that he'll actually go through with it. Or maybe he won't, and warn Korra and the rest about what she's doing. And honestly, I really don't know what's going to happen with that little point, but it's kind of a risky venture. But either way, this was a great episode. I loved it. I love seeing Zaheer again. I love seeing or hearing Rava again. And I wanted the spirits to come back in a big way, and here they are. Now Kuvera's messing with the swamp tree, the spirit trees, and the spirits are of course attacking. So maybe Kuvera isn't the final villain. Maybe it's just because the spirits are so mad about what Kuvera's been doing with the swamp that they're attacking people. I have no idea. It's still kind of iffy, and really, I'm just excited. I'm just excited about what the next episode's going to be. And so I'm kind of mad that I don't know when that's going to be. Because everywhere I look for an episode list of the when they're going to come out, this seems to be the last episode for now. Obviously, they're not going to end it here. But I know December's coming. I know that many shows are going to stop, airing until sometime in December or maybe after. But I don't know when that's going to be. So hopefully I figure it out before it actually does premiere and I'm late. I don't know. But there it is. I love this episode. Great. Can't wait for the next one. Till then, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye-bye.